Hey, good morning, everybody. How's your night? Hope you slept well. We are ready for today's class. Okay, like I said yesterday, today we are going to start the project for Excel proper. We are going to start the project for Excel proper. Okay. Now, this is going to be like a case study to see how we can apply this data analysis process on a real life project. Okay. Now, the data from this project, they are partly real data that was modified to change some free information so it doesn't expose people's private information. So this is a modified data, real data that was modified. Now this case study is on a company called Tech Properties. We are going to do an analysis on this company to understand the conversion rate. You know what conversion is? Conversion. No? Is closer. So conversion, when we talk about conversion as regards to business, it talks about the rate at which clients, leads, as people that are interested in your business turns to customer. So if I get 100 people that are interested in buying my products and 20 of those people actually buy and pay, my conversion rate is 20. That's 20%. So conversion is the rate at which people who are interested in your product actually buys your product. That is conversion rate. So our analysis is going to be focused on analyzing the conversion rate of this business called Tech Properties and what are the factors that are affecting the conversion rate. What is either making it go high or go low. So before we talk about analyzing the business, we need to understand the business. We need to understand what the business is all about. Now, this is a brief background on this business. So the Tech Property is a leading real estate firm specialized in land and property sales in Nigeria. They have a diverse portfolio spanning rentals, residential properties, commercial properties, and industrial properties. And so far, they have been tracking their monthly sales data in order to understand the factors that are affecting the growth trend and to get an understanding of their market responsiveness. Now, the aim of all of this is to ensure continuous improvement and deeper understanding of their operations. Okay, so this is a real estate company that their investment portfolio is on residential properties, commercial properties, and industrial properties. And so far, so good. They have been tracking their data. Okay, so now from this, you know that we don't need to go externally for the data. The data is going to be given to us because it's already been tracked. Now, this is an overview of the company. So you now know that there are three things you now know. Number one, you are working with a real estate company, right? Number two, what they offer is land and properties, right? And number three, the data is already being tracked. So we don't have to go and source it externally. Now, the first thing we need to verify when we come to our analysis step, the first thing is what? Ask, Abi. That's the first step. Now we need to know the objective of the problem we're trying to solve. Now, the problem we're trying to solve is optimizing lead conversion. Right? You want to understand what is affecting the conversion of leads and how to improve the lead conversion. Okay. Now, the core problem is to identify the factors that influences conversion rate of leads into paying customers. Now, this understanding is crucial for developing a more effective and data-backed lead acquisition and conversion strategy for the future. Now, this is the problem definition. Okay, so now we know that everything we are trying to solve for is what is affecting lead conversion and how to optimize that. Now, the framework we are going to use for this our ask process to further break this problem down into its component parts will be this. So for the ask process, we are going to do 4 things. Number one, we have to define like I said, you need to know your stakeholders are. We need to clarify what stakeholders are. Number two, we need to answer those key questions. I said something about we need to clarify our key questions, right? We've already defined the problem. I want to know our stakeholders, clarify our key questions. Now, in this case, I'm calling the key questions hypotheses, because they are hypotheses, key questions, they are all assumptions, okay? When I say hypothesis simply means making an educated guess. Now, when you make an hypothesis, your job now is to prove it true or false. So it's either to reject or to fail to reject that hypothesis. Like I assume that I'm making for my account statement, say I spent December, I spent like 2 million, right? That's an assumption. Now, that's an hypothesis. An hypothesis is just an assumption that you think is true, but you are not sure, right? Now, your job as a data analyst is now go into your data and confirm if it is true or false. That's an hypothesis. Hypothesis and your key questions are basically the same thing. They are just assumptions that you ask, okay? To kind of guide how you are going to go into your analysis. Now, we are going to formulate some assumptions to guide our analysis, okay? Some questions that we are going to try to answer with our analysis. Then once we are done with forming our hypothesis, we are going to create our objectives. Objectives are those hypotheses that you were able to find out to be true. You now list them. Okay, this is what I was able to find out. A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then the last one, we are going to establish our success measure, our success metrics. Okay. That's the last thing we are going to do. Now, the first step is to define our audience. Now, let me ask you a question. You know there is a real estate company, right? We are analyzing for. So who do you think is your number one audience or your number one stakeholders? Who is going to be your number one stakeholder in this particular case? The customer. The customer. Maybe. Not 100%, but maybe. Another one. Number one person, the main person that is your stakeholder. That's where you work. Who is going to be your stakeholder? Your number one audience. Who are they? The company, Abi. Yeah. The CEO or the management. That's number one. So let's just, from my own understanding, what I was able to find out, number one stakeholder are the decision makers. That is the company that gave you this particular task. People that need this information to make sure. So talk about the management, the CEO, operation manager. Those are your number one stakeholder. Number two is the sales team, because they are the people that are actually making the calls, doing the marketing, and making sure that the leads are converted. Abi, they are also interested in your findings. Number three, okay, the decision makers and the management are also kind of the same. So the management. And number four is your fellow data analyst, right? If it's a situation where you are working with a team, your fellow data analyst is a stakeholder, but they are also interested in your finding, maybe to further go deeper on the analysis or collaborate with you on that particular analysis. So these are your stakeholders. Number one is the management, number two is your sales team, then number three is your fellow data analyst. In this case, since you are the only person doing the task, we are going to stick to the first two, which is the management or the decision makers, and the sales team. Okay. Now that we know who the people we are doing this analysis for, and we need to think in terms of what they might be interested in, right? That will allow us to create our hypothesis or key question. And we need to think, since we are not privileged to talk to them, we are going to assume that we ourselves are these people, the sales team and the decision makers. Okay. Now, what are some of the questions that you think these guys might be interested in getting an answer to? Hmm? Just think. So their goal is to optimize leads. That means lead conversion. What is lead conversion? The rate at which people that are interested in your product actually buys your product. So for example, if you talk to 100 people, they say, I would like to buy. And at the end of the day, only 20 of them buy. Your conversion is 20%. Abi, that's your conversion. Now, what do you think your money, or let's say assume you are the owner of the company, right? What are some of the questions you want to find out about this conversion rate? What are some of the questions you want to know? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Hmm? Okay, that's one. Want to know if the conversion rate is high, general conversion rate is high or low. That's one. Okay, that's a good one. Let's assume it's land. They are selling land. Okay. The land is in Port Harcourt and Lagos. They have land in Port Harcourt and Lagos. So what question would you want to also know? Okay, okay. Which location is selling more, right? Okay, that's a good one. Another one you want to know is your customer. Which is it male that is buying more or female that is buying more? That's another thing you want to know. Like, if the gender of the client, if it affects your sale. That when you are maybe when you want to run advertisements, you know, okay, let's target male if male is performing better, or let's target female if female is performing better. Another thing you want to know is your sales person. Every real estate company has salespeople, right? And in any company, there are people that are performing good, there are people that are performing bad, right? So you want to know who is performing well as regards to conversion, who is performing bad as regards to conversion. Okay? Then another thing that affects sales, especially in real estate, is inspection. You also want to know which, if when people go for inspection, if their conversion rate is high or it is low. You know what inspection is, Abi? You go in and looking at the property you want to buy. If when they go, is their conversion rate high or is it low? And for your customers, people that how many people are going for inspection, how many are not going for inspection? That's also very important for you, right? Another thing we talked about that the company has three types of property they sell, which is residential, commercial, and industrial. I mean, so you also want to know which of these products are selling. So you know which one to focus on, which one to completely eliminate, or which one to review the strategy for. You understand? You also want to know that. Then another thing you might want to know is what time, like what time of the month or of the week gets the most amount of sales. So if you are working with anything that has to do with dates, you also know which time, maybe plot in a line chart to know which time you have the highest conversion rate. Is it at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, middle of the month, or if there is no uh, increase or decrease as regards to the time? So those are questions you might want to get answers to. I mean, so that's what you do. Since you know the person you are working with, you know how to structure the question. Sometimes the person you are talking to, they don't know the questions that might be interesting to them. So you formulate it, then you show them, okay, this, you like answers to on this. Then you now do your analysis based on what they would like answers to. You understand? That's just the way it works. So those are, I think I'll give you the notes. So they are here on the notes. This is what I talked about. And you can also go further, right? So we talked about the salesperson effectiveness as which salesperson is performing better. Is there difference when it comes to conversion rate among salespeople? Right? Now, on that salesperson, that might be one of the most key things for most real estate companies. So they might want to dig deeper into that. You get so there are salespeople. I think salespeople, when it comes to sales, are kind of the most important component when it comes to selling, right? So you might want to dig deeper into your salespeople to see if maybe it is the type of leads that they are getting that is affecting their sales. For example, if maybe Cynthia is the salesperson, Ben is the salesperson, right? And Ben sells, maybe he has 100 leads, was able to sell 50% of them. You have 100, it's still 20, right? You know, okay, she's performing better than you. Now, next thing you can check is, okay, is it because of the leads that she's getting? Maybe it's male. She has more male leads. That's why she's selling better than you, right? Is it because of when her leads come in? Right? Is it beginning of the month, end of the month? That's why she's selling better than you. Is it because of the location she's selling? If it's River State or Lagos, that's why she's selling better than you, right? Is it because of the product she's selling? If it's residential or commercial, that's why she's selling better than you. Or is it because of if our clients are going more for inspection or if they are not going more, that's why she's selling better than you. So this will allow me to not just blame you for your low sales, right? But to know exactly why you are not selling what you to the degree at which you sell. And if I was able to find out that okay, everything is okay, the only difference between our sale and your sale is that most of our leads are going for inspection and few of yours are going for inspection, right? So I will not just blame you for that. I will just okay, this is what you should do. Ensure that all your leads go for inspection. And I will now check again to see if both your sales are not close or your own is higher than our or it's on the same place. Now it's only when maybe you do the same thing and you are not getting lower and okay, okay, this person is not performing. Okay, you can now find someone else to replace that person. Are you seeing it? So whenever you have an hypothesis that you need to dig further into, you can have more questions based off that particular question. The first question you ask, you know you need to dig deeper into that. You can now ask other subsidiary questions under that one. You understand? So the entire reason of having hypothesis or key question is just to guide your analysis. So, for example, if I show you all these things now before I even start to do anything, like you should know what you're expecting at the end of the analysis process. Not like they just give you question. Okay, this is what I want to find. And just go do whatever you like, and give them a dashboard, give them reports. Then at the end of the day, they'll tell you, okay, this thing you did is not what I want to. Now go back and do the same thing. No, when I give you this one now, you know, okay, this is the area that we are targeting. You know what to expect at the end of the analysis. Abi? That's the point of this hypothesis or key question. Okay, that's step two. We wait for the generator to come back. They should be on in the next 10 minutes. In the meantime, this will be your break for today. Once the generator comes up, just go to the end of the class. So this is your break for today. Yes. What's the generator? Okay, everybody, let's come back. Favor. So these are the hypotheses that we generated. Like Lawrence said, the conversion rate of lead is not uniform and is influenced by specific factors recorded in August sales data. So Lawrence said one thing we'll be interested in, was it Lawrence or you? It was you, Abi? Yeah. The sales, the conversion rate. The owner might be interested in the conversion rate in general, right? Then I also mentioned the salesperson effectiveness. You might be interested to know how the salesperson is influencing conversion rates. Number two is gender, how the gender of the client is influencing conversion rates. Inspection impacts, how inspection is influencing the conversion rate. Number four, location. The location of the property, is it influencing conversion rate? If Lagos or Port Harcourt, which one is higher, which one is low? Then the product performance, which of the products, residential, commercial, or industrial, how they are influencing this conversion rate. Then the temporal pattern has to do with time, right? If the month, the week of the month, or the day of the month, how they are influencing conversion rate for that particular week or that particular month. So these are the, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the general hypothesis, right? 7 main hypotheses you are going to look at. Okay. Now, I also said that since this salesperson is kind of more important, we can go deeper into this salesperson to see if it was the leads that the salesperson had that caused that person not to sell more or to sell low. So under the secondary hypothesis, we are trying to unpack the salesperson performance to see why is a salesperson doing well or not doing well. Now we can use the clients of the client gender that the salesperson gets to check why he's doing well or he's not doing well. Number two, we can use the week of the month where the lead came in to see if that is what is affecting the conversion rates. Number three, we can use the location, not the geographical state, as the location, to see if it's because of the location of the property is why the salesperson is not doing well. Number four, we can use the product type. If the salesperson is selling more industrial property or more commercial or more residential, that is why that person is not doing well. And the last one is the inspection. If the salesperson, most of their clients are not going for inspection, or they are going for inspection, is that the reason that person is not doing well? So these are some of the things that we will look at, right? And try to answer with the data, okay? Now that we have our hypothesis, we can just write out our objective. Now, the purpose of this objective is when you're writing your report, you need to add an objective, okay? So from your key questions, right, the one you are able to answer, you now streamline some of the things that your objective is basically what your report answers, the question that your analysis actually answered, okay? Those are your objectives. No, most likely your objective comes once you are done with answering those questions. I just added it here first. But most cases, once I'm done answering those questions, I'll be able to get the actual answers. Then I will now formulate my objective. I'm just going to list them out. Number one objective is to assess the impact of dates on conversion rates. That's one. Number two is to examine the influence of location on the conversion rates. That's two. Number three, investigate how the property type influences conversion rates. That's another objective. Four, analyze the correlation between client gender and conversion rates. And number five, evaluate the influence of property inspection on the conversion rate. Now, these objectives is what I'm going to put in my report. I will not put this one in my report. My main report, my final report, I won't put this hypothesis there. It's this objective I'm going to put there. Okay? You understand the difference, Abi? Because they are looking kind of the same. just where you place them. This one is like the final result. This is what my report was able to answer. This is the last first two. Okay, good. Now, the last thing when it comes to the ask process is what? Your key metrics, I mean your success metrics, right? Now, our success metrics for this analysis is conversion rate. We need to understand how the conversion rate is. Is the conversion rate that number that we are going to use to check if any of our findings is that good or bad? Okay, this conversion rate so is the number that we use to determine if any of our findings is good or bad. For example, is the conversion rate we use to show if the salesperson is performing well or they are performing bad. Okay, now this conversion rate is our success metric for this analysis. Now, different analyses have different success metrics. Now, most of the time, you get to have at most 3 success metrics in your analysis. Okay? If you have an analysis that has more than 3, you should just break it into separate, different reports. It should not be just one report, it should be different reports. For example, if a company wants to do analysis for general, everything about the company, you can do analysis for focus on human resources, that's staff performance, staff salary, and all of those things. Those will be one report on its own. Sales will be another report on its own, with its own success metrics. I get what I'm trying to say. If you're having too much success metrics in one single report, just break the report into different reports so that it will not be confusing. Now, in this particular report, the only success metric we are looking at is conversion rate. Now, what is conversion rate? Conversion rate is simply the percentage of leads that are successfully converted into actual customer. So if any of you, as any of you run Facebook ads, or most of you have personal business. Who has a personal business? Only none of us do business. Try do business. Try do business. Only if they go to try do something else. At least you can apply your own knowledge to your business. So when you have a business and you want to get customer, right? What are the things you do? Number one thing, you can run ad Facebook. Number 3, you can talk to all your friends and families, right? That you are doing business. Number 2, that's number 2. Number 3, you can talk to strangers. Maybe you enter a fly, enter road, talk to like 10 people, collect their number, right? So any of these things you do, you are simply making people aware of the fact that you sell A or B product. Now, let's say you were able to talk to 100 people and they are aware that you sell A or B product. Then after your follow-up, only like 10 people paid you, right? That 10 is your conversion rate. Now, this is what we are looking at to solve. Now, this is the formula to calculate conversion rate. Numbers of converted leads divided by total numbers of leads times 100. That is your conversion rate. So you plug this into this formula. Your total converted lead was 10. Your total number of lead was 100. 10 divided by 100 is 0.1. Is it 0.1, 0.1? Okay. Then multiply that by 100. That would be 10%. That's how you calculate your conversion rate. Now we are done with the ask part of our analysis. Okay. Now what's the next step? What is the next step after you have collected the data? Now bring your laptop. Everybody bring your laptop. If you have laptop, go to the back, talk to Sophia, she'll give you a laptop. You still didn't bring your laptop. Why? You went to it's from your house you're coming from, Abi. Some house you are coming from. Why did you bring your laptop? But you brought flash drive. Okay. So if you don't have a laptop, go to the back, speak to Sophia, she'll give you one laptop. Okay, before we do the project, there's this PDF. If you go to the project folder, there's a PDF called A Guide for Data Analyst. Now, on that PDF, you can just go to the PDF generally, but this is what I want you to focus on. So on this PDF, you have analysis in different fields. For example, marketing, sales, healthcare, and so on and so forth, right? Now, in each of these fields, we have metrics that are unique to that field, like success metrics or key metrics or success metrics that are unique to those fields. And you can see them in this video. For example, conversion rate is unique to anything that has to do with marketing or sales. We have what's called return on investment. These are some success metrics. Click-through rates. You see their definition and how to use them. Yeah. Did you get the explanation I just made also? So there's a PDF inside of this folder, projects. I gave you all of this now. Have I given you this folder? Hmm? Haven't I copied this folder for you? I have, Abi. So inside this folder, there's a PDF called A Guide for Data Analyst. Now, inside of this guide, we have different, it defines how you apply data analysis in different fields. Now, the key point I want you to understand here is this. Let's say you are doing analysis that has to do with marketing, right? And you don't know the success metrics to go for. Now, in each of this field, in this note, we have tables that tells us each applicable success metric for different fields. Now, for example, if we are looking at data analysis in marketing, and I'm looking for a success metrics that would work for my particular analysis, I will come over to this board, this table, and look for a good one. Now, for example, you can use conversion rates, right? Depends on the analysis you want to do. And there are some other ones you can also use. Like, for example, customer acquisition cost. Now, if you are someone that does marketing, that uses Facebook marketing, I use Meta business, run ads. One thing you are interested in is the cost to acquire a single customer. Let's say you spend 100K on ads, right? And from the 100K, you were able to get 2 customers, right? That means to get 1 customer is 50,000 naira. You see, that's your cost to acquire customer. In some analysis, that might be the metrics you are interested in. Okay. Now we have different metrics that are here. So whenever you are confused or you don't know the metrics to use, you can come over here and look for the one that most likely fits your analysis. So this is for marketing. We have one for sales. The definition is here as well. The definition for each of those metrics are here. We have for sales. We have for healthcare and so on and so forth. So whenever you are confused on the metrics you use, you can just go over these notes and look for anyone that fits. Just read their definition, see the one that will fit your analysis, then you go from there. or you and the stakeholder can even brainstorm. What are you interested in? Is it the customer acquisition cost? Is it the leads? Is it the conversion rate? What is your interest in? Then you pick one from there, then you work with that one. Yes? You want to do what? That means you come and sit here because charging is there. Come and sit here. Take that. Come and sit here. That you can charge. So everybody has a laptop. Check if your laptop has Excel. Sit in one of those chairs. So you have Excel. Open up an empty Excel file. A fresh Excel file. Like this. Is there Excel on that laptop? Don't. Why you can say you don't? What is this one? Downstairs. Are you here? Who is not here? Hmm? Mike, are you here? Have you opened Excel? How about you? Have you opened? When you are here, let me know so that we progress smoothly. Hmm?